What up, my freaks? Ruinous Man Thing here with part 6 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Throt the Unclean Old World campaign. So as we saw last time, Crocronied 10 Scratch was an absolute monster, an absolute star as he took out the Ice Court pretty much by himself. I wasn't expecting his army to do as well as it has done, but it generally turned out that the Brood Horror and Eshin unit combination is a pretty darn strong one, and certainly something to remember next time I play Skaven as well. But anyway, now that he's done with the Ice Court, of course there are plenty more Kislevites to be working on, but at least to the south we're reasonably safe. I don't imagine that the Great Orthodoxy will have too easy of a time defending the territories down here, though should we make it this way, this far southward, we will then be bordering Draika, Vissenland, who we are at war with, etc, 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 so I guess there is probably a limit to the distance and that we should be trying to travel down here. I also noticed that the Red Eye are down here, though I'm willing to bet that we'll probably destroy them. Yeah, I think out of all the orcs, we're probably just going to keep Gloomfang around, but then maybe nobody else. As long as these guys build the big ol' spider chain, that'll be happy with, because that's really the main thing I want from the orcs. We'll see about any other interesting things. But anyway, in terms of what we gotta do this time, it's a brand new turn, brand new day, so let's get started on the new stuff. Now, Throt, you are going to go to Dehov, which you wouldn't be able to reach in 2 turns, meaning you're probably better off either tunneling or even march dancing down here. I mean, yeah, you could just march dance. Even if the enemy should attack you, I'm willing to bet that you'll be fine. The other thing that we'd want to do is get another Master Assassin. This guy, let's say Shuriken Mayhem. It doesn't really matter. But we need you to essentially follow Throt around. He'll probably raise both of these territories, and then we'll want to be able to occupy them. Although it might not be possible to do that at Dehov, depending on how close these guys are, because we don't want them stealing the territory. Anyway, Skittus and Thankful. This episode will be dedicated to getting your new armies up and running, separating you from each other, and then going your separate ways. It's long past time that Skittus becomes a non-follower lord, and that Thankful no longer needs a follower lord. So, yeah. Skittus 2, Rat Boogaloo, you're... well, until this place is 100 public order, you can probably stay here. Again, if you're wondering why I'm so gung-ho about... ooh, let's upgrade this. So gung-ho about upgrading or getting the public order up everywhere, it's the upkeep reduction, minus 1%. So if we have 100 provinces, it'll be minus 100% upkeep. Which actually we wouldn't need that many because we have a natural 13% upkeep reduction faction-wide. And I'm willing to bet that there's at least a couple more. So really, we probably can get away with like 60 provinces, and that will completely maximize that and allow us to just go under-city spam, which will be nice. It'll reduce the admin and it'll allow us to use buffer states as well, but I'm getting way ahead of myself. Anyway, a Rat Burglar and Pustin the Plague Ridden. You two will proceed... well, Rat Burglar, you're kind of in a decent position already. Pustin, you just need to get to Jarna Grund, so keep going there. And Rat Burglar, I guess you could jump between these two. Steel Tech, 74. I wish it wasn't so costly, but it's all good. And I did have the intent of sending you southward to find the other Rat factions to ally with. Alright, will you be able to reach Jarna Grund in one bound? Maybe... we'll see. Alrighty. Gotta establish that super undercity. Are we going all the way to help at Abomination this time, or are we going with the Mutant Rat Ogre cluster? I don't know. Let it go to max, I guess. What's our Mutant Rat Ogre stock at? We got 1 and 2 Help at A-bombs. And we do want the Help at A-bombs to go with a Skaven slave army, and that'll be soonish. So yeah, I guess we'll need more Help at A-bombs for that. Alright, looking good. And I still haven't decided which monsters to use for the fire army, which is also a fairly big consideration. Pustich, I guess you can stay here because Thankful has to go here anyway, and you can provide the bonus public order where you are currently without moving forward. Alright, you're good then. And, oh, Bonus public order or bonus food? I suppose it doesn't matter. Alright, let's do building, and then let's go to next turn. The critical building was this. Since we can see that these guys are still milling around and the armies of the Bone Rattlers have fallen, we're going to need the fortified entries here at Kasserk. Eventually, these are all to be deleted once we have sufficient buffer territory around, but we don't as yet, and thus need to play around that fact. And Bolgasgrad is kind of in the same position, so we'll build the fortified entries here, but I think we'll forego them at Ivegka for now. Yes. Actually, we could probably reduce the time it takes. Oh, no, we can't. I was about to say reduce the time it takes by building that thing here, but I guess we can't, so we can't. Pits of the Packmasters here, and there goes all of our cash. Skip, 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 and then turn. Alright, oh, draining winds. Well, it was always gonna happen. It's kind of devastating, the reduction in Winds of Magic Power Reserve, because a lot of our armies don't have it in a good place right now, but we do want to be rewarded. That hasn't changed. Next up, building legions with an allied faction, great, and there's that growth vat emptied. Huh, we did get Skaven slaves this time. Interesting. And a brood horror, rat ogres. Good. Anyway, growth vat batch available. And oh, okay, we got another breeder, we got another bell polisher, we got many other bell polishers. And there's that technology research completed. 13th scheme is upgraded, and oh, profit's already up. Ooh, this is actually sooner than I was expecting. Okay, so there's a couple small, I guess, problems with that. The main one being thus. Okay, wait. Man, can these guys reach Dehov from where they are? I'm gonna hope that they can't, because we still want to probably raise it for the amount of cash that it'll offer us, which is probably a fair bit. Anyway, profit is a really, really strong buff for the character experience rate, but what I wanted to do, mission issued, income, great, well, oh, wow, really? We're 16 short? Alright, well, we'll try to pump those numbers up. Actually, we could do it by immediately activating the 13th scheme. Yeah, alright, if we activate it now, then in 5 turns we can immediately activate the dominating scheme. Granted, the cooldown on this thing is pretty long, but, you know, it's a good time to use the upkeep reduction. And counteract the loyalty loss. I don't really care about the plague scheme, to be perfectly honest. It's kind of annoying. That is a threat to us, so yeah, perform right. Alright, there we go, that bumps it up to 8.2k, and next turn the quest should be complete. Next up, we'll pick a tech, any tech, but not really. Now... this is what I wanted. The steal 10% of the experience gained by other lords. I wanted this to be in effect once profit came up and running. So to get this, we need layers, meaning we're going to have to invest in some undercities, or 2 undercities now. So we're going to have to keep constructing you. 3,000 for the Rat Keepers, because we're trying to get to Ratkin Mafia. And then here at Lichburg, we will go for the layers. So start on the burrows. All right. And hopefully those undercities will self-propagate as, well, yeah. Anyway. These guys are going to reach it. Oh, or they're not. Beautiful. Bilefitch. Go to Gerslev and occupy it for us. And you will go to Kislev. This is going to cost us a lot of food, but it is what it is. Alright. Take Gerslev. Colonize it at tier 1. Lovely. And we will immediately build a growth building here. Shroud of Dripping Death is ours, Crown of Command is ours, and oh, okay, that completed itself. Good. Then, Crocronid. What's our food at? 237 out of 257. Not even maxed out. But it is what it is. Go to Kislev. I'd like you to take it at tier maybe 3 or 4. Mostly because there's a lot of enemies around this place, and we need it to be, you know, self-defensible. 140 to get a tier 4 puts us into orange, which is iffy. I readily admit that it's iffy, but we should be able to get back up to yellow in about 1 turn. Alright, just do it. Colonize. It is Kislev after all. It'll be the bastion of the southern portion of our empire, like so. Then, that obviously bumps up our, whatchamacallit, our income. Bumps down, rather, significantly, but we can at least relatively cheaply build the covert choke points, the arcane generators, the taskmaster's platform, and then the construction camp. Oh, actually, build the clan summit instead. I'm almost tempted to... But this being at 4, we could wait for the 13 turns and immediately upgrade it to tier 5, but it's going to cost 10k at that point, not where we are right now. Maybe it's better to upgrade Gurslev and then build defenses here, because enemies could come around through this direction as well. Yeah, fine. Go for that then. And the construction cavern is also a good option. Do we wait until tier 5 to do that? We can't really forego the arcane generator. On the other hand, the arcane generators... This place won't be generating a lot of money soon, but it would help. But I don't want it to fall, and I do want Korkroni to be able to leave the place. We do really need the Taskmaster's platform. Yeah, you know what? You're just going to have to forego the arcane generators, at least for now, and then deal with it as you go. Anyway, Throt, you, sir. We're going to attack Dehov. And I just realized something. We wanted to get this place up at tier 3 as well to trade to these guys, so we're going to need even more food. Go figure. Alright, you're at war with Clan Gritus and Gloomfang. Let's see who is going to be able to give us more money. You will go 882. Not a lot. Gloomfang? You will give us 1412. Alright, let's do that then. Yes. Any reason not to do this? No. Alright, we've done that. Then, Throt, you're probably going to have to fight this. Go figure. What do you have in terms of defenses? Oh, alright. Ooh. Flame cannons. Oh, the Grudge Settler Grudge Throwers. Definitely one of the scariest artillery pieces in the game. Pyrrhic victory casualties high. Alright, it's been a while since Throt's done a forced siege, as in breaking through the gate and dealing with it like that, which we will do in a second. Alright, you besiege this. And then Mr. Mormount... Wait, can you? Huh, you can actually leech XP. I'm just going to assume that these guys won't be able to reach it to colonize, and if they can, I'm going to be extremely sad. Wait, there isn't a guy here, is there? There is not, okay. Mormel, you are going to go here. Just to leech, because we could potentially have use for you later. And then we're gonna drop into the fight. Do we want to level anybody up? We got 2 points. Alright, not quite the Chosen of Khorne on Gorich there, but I'm sure that we can still get some benefit out of this. You know what, we need more money, but spoils is only plus 5%. Admittedly, not that much. I'm almost tempted to put an assassin in Throt's army just for that, but it's also not a big enough deal, I think, for us to worry about it. Man, this guy's gonna have a huge amount of spell resistance. Anyway, let's go Magic as weakness. We'll level everybody up then. You have Scavenge, you are in need of Tricksy and Sneaky, and obviously Retinue Physician as well, but we'll start with Tricksy and Sneaky, like so. You, Packmaster, next Packmaster, can do the same. Oh, you have Radkatir maxed out, alright, good. So you'll get Tricksy and Sneaky. As soon as you have the ability to get both, your Radkatir is now maxed out. You can start with... Actually, start with Sneaky, not Tricksy. We need missile resistance before spell resistance. You, Plague Priest, you have Tricksy and Sneaky. I don't really think that we can do Warpstone tokens as yet, because your miscast chances comfortably high. But... entering the enemy settlement might mean we have use for a big spell, so let's get Plague. Alrighty. It's a rarely used one at any rate, so, you know, if we have the opportunity, we should probably use it, because we won't see it a crazy amount. Clan Rat Reduction I don't really care about. Let's go through to Foe Seeker. So, Blade Master for you. Shriven, and then lastly, the Packmaster, the other Packmaster. You have Radkatiring, Tricksy, Sneaky. Let's move through Retinue Valet in order to get to Retinue Physician, whereas Mr. Throt will get Tricksy for the spell resistance, and he is done. Both his yellow tree and his red tree, meaning we have 25 points to play with to go through his fighty tree. And possibly even put a few points in his blue tree. Alright, that looks pretty good. Believe that's it. Before we get started, engagement threshold reached, and thus this will be a longer episode, and the engagement threshold remains 400 likes, 60 comments. The next episode will be the longer version as well. Should be a fun fight. First fight against the dwarfs as well, which has been a long time coming. Go. Alrighty, oh my lord, I was about to say here we go, but then, well, the Vanguard deployment almost immediately kills poor Cuddles here, who loses, I don't know, 75% of its HP to a big volley from the Iron Drakes with Troll Hammer torpedoes. That's, yeah, 5.3 thousand damage with a single volley, plus probably a little bit of damage from the Thunderers and whatever else as well. Yep, tremendous mistake, Vanguard deploying Cuddles here. Hopefully it doesn't die, but if it does, not much we can do about it. Anyway, gonna try to dodge the best we can. We've immediately activated Remoldered and the Moulder Clanstone on top of Cuddles, massively increasing its HP recovery on top of that regeneration that it has. So you can see that HP go down and up again, and it is attempting to dodge shots from the enemy as it does. It appears to be stopped, so it gets hit with the monstrous impact from the enemy artillery. Now that ain't great, and now it's going to be very slow on its way forward. In fact, now suppression comes down as well, and its speed is down to 4. Cuddles is stuck. Why do you hate Cuddles, game? It just wants to cuddle you. Oh man. It would be so disappointing to lose a high rank Hellpit abomination like this, but yeah, they are very vulnerable to missile fire. Ooh, and it's reached its healing cap as well, still desperately trying to get towards that wall so that at least it's hidden from various fire from the enemy. Looks like the Troll Hammers have repositioned themselves, attempting to attack the units of Packmasters and the other Hellpit as well as Gorich over on the right flank. But in the meantime, it's time to start sending units up the walls. We've summoned a unit of Plague Monks via the Pestilent Birth, and then a unit of Clan Rats via Vermintide. And just had to wait long enough to move our Plague Priest forward, as we didn't want the Plague Priest getting hit with those Troll Hammer Torps either. Anyway, looks like Cuddles survived, at least for now, with a half of its HP, and we are now working our way through those gates to get into the enemy settlement. Well, this immediately turned into a pretty tough fight, and I think that's appropriate, Skaven and Dwarfs being natural enemies after all, just like Skaven and Orcs. And Skaven and other Skaven, etc. Anyway, making our way up those walls now. I was hoping that as soon as our units were up there, we would be able to start summoning the units inside and the enemy settlement. As I mean the piles of wolf rats, but it looks like that is not yet the case. The poor Plague Monks are trying to make their way up the wall, but basically as soon as one makes its way up the ladder, it gets immediately brought down by the axes of those slayers. And it's a toughie. Alright, into the blender they go. On the bright side, Throt has at last, or nearly, broken through the gate, though it does look like 2 of the Rad Ogres, or the Mutant Rad Ogres, specifically the Morscatar's Hellion and the Chieftain Triven, have broken through. The Chieftain currently in a fight with the enemy Thane here. Feels like an appropriate duel between them, while the Morscatar's Hellion, being a sort of anti-blob infantry, or just generally speaking anti-infantry unit, is mincing dwarf after dwarf. 48 kills to its name, looking pretty good as those dwarf warriors are having a tough time. They're about to get a lot, it's about to get a lot tougher, however, as Throt makes his way into the enemy settlement, going immediately for the enemy runesmith, and here comes Cuddles in a rage after what happened outside those walls. Granted, this exposes Cuddles to more damage from the various enemy range units within the enemy settlement, but it's got the Rat Ogres and other units to help out now. Plus, it's a lot easier to make use of the cliffs and the terrain of the settlement to dodge direct fire from the enemy. Here come the Wolf Rats at last, as we've broken our way through the other gate, or, well, actually, no. I lied. It's still got 3,000 HP, but with Throt having broken through the first one, we can still summon all those units inside, which means Clan Rats, which means Wolf Rats, which means the Plague Monks, and now we're tying up plenty of units, with the critical most tie-up by Triven the Chieftain here, who has moved all the way up here to run down that unit of, not Thunderers, but the Troll Hammers. Can't be having those fire again at our units of Hell Pit abominations. They can, by the looks of it, essentially kill a Hell Pit with only 2 volleys, and that is pretty darn disgusting. I mean, we're not even capable of anything like that, I think. Not with 2 volleys. Warp Lightnings and Jezzails do plenty of damage to bigger targets like this, but again, 2 volleys would not kill a Hell Pit abomination, I think. Trollhammers be scary. Anyway, the enemy also had Thunderers and Quarrelers, who did get plenty of damage on our fragile Packmasters, but now we've closed the distance and we'll be applying that poison to them. Big old belly flop from our Mutant Rat Ogre and one of the other Packmasters keeping pace as we seek to tie up every single enemy range unit. The melee units aren't really a major threat to our particular monster-heavy army, as the infantry is liable to get absolutely minced by our monsters, but the range units, as we've already seen, can dish the damage out instead. Gorge here spinning to win as he usually does, working together with the other Hell Pit abomination, who has also lost about 30% of its HP. Cuddles has recovered up to 75% of its HP, but that's where the healing cap is, and it looks like the enemy is firing away with that flame cannon. Throt will dodge at least a couple of hits, but will brave the flames to move towards the enemy and close the distance. There we go. I got the hiccups. I'm trying not to hiccup into the mic and deafen everyone. But anyway, with Throt having closed the distance with the Grudge Settler Flame Cannon, that's a big threat out of the picture. The Grudge Throwers are still throwing them grudges around, but that's all good, as the monstrous impact that they apply is no longer nearly as threatening as it once was. Here, the giant pile of Rat Ogres, the regular Rat Ogres, led by the Pit Fighters of Hell's Deep, have made their way into the enemy settlement, and I'm going to stop to quickly kill off this one thing. But it looks like the rest of our units, including the summoned Rat Ogres and all the summoned Wolf Rats, have overrun the defenders. And getting our way with more of the Wolf Rats to run down the enemy artillery and stop those annoying Grudge Throwers at last. And it looks like this battle is nearly ours. Definitely had to work for this one, though, as the defenders up on those walls were quite the menace above. But it looks like the menace below will triumph. Alright, Quarrelers are still, well, I was about to say in the fight, but it looks like the enemy is just about to. These are the last 2 units that are still engaged, and they will shatter. And with that, the battle is almost ours. Remember those Plague Monks that were attempting to climb the walls and fight the Slayers? Well, the Slayers are up to 160 kills, and they're still in the fight. The rest of the dwarfs in their settlement have found their doom and been torn to shreds by our monsters, but the dwarfs that were actually seeking their doom are still here for a few more good axe blows. One single unit of clan rats is definitely not going to be able to handle these guys, as they are absolutely being minced. We just, in the last, 10 seconds or whatever, saw the Slayers jump up by 50 kills. And more rats are being absolutely torn to shreds. Up to 40 melee defense on these guys as well. 74 weapon strength, very solid. I'm curious to see how hard our plague sensors will hit. Our sensor bearers. Well, anyway, since none of our heroes are now able to go up on walls, and our monsters, because, I don't know, the devs don't like monsters on walls apparently, can't go up here either, all we can do is hope to overrun the Slayers with piles of infantry. And yes, we could have just gotten all these infantry off the walls and the Slayers would have followed, but I feel like this is more fun. Now this is what these guys are for. I'll let them get a real proper doom here. Up to 315 kills and still 40% rather HP remaining. See how many more of our rats they can take out. I also like the idea of our lord and heroes just sort of watching the action up above to their amusement. It's like a arena sort of deal for them. Alright, obviously the battle is over, and tactically there is absolutely nothing to say, just good old-fashioned glorious action. And man, those Slayers are still in the fight, up to 400 kills now, but 20% of their HP. We got another unit of summoned Plague Monks that was in the midst of this, I believe. Or at least the remnants of a unit of summoned Plague Monks. There they are. The last of the Slayers now being overrun. What a glorious last stand for this unit. I almost feel like I want to commemorate this for the dwarves. Although after the Thorgrim campaign being such an epic campaign, they probably have the most community canon stuff on the channel now. But anyway, and there we go. These Slayers are at last pretty much done fighting back to back, except for these couple that are about to be dead. I guess they're all about to be dead, but we still have the numbers. And we got more Vermintide summons where that came from, should it be needed. Funnily enough, I'd wager that if we had the Wolf Rats to attack the Slayers, they would have torn through them a little bit faster. Granted, the Wolf Rats would have immediately gotten torn through pretty fast as well, but they can deliver their damage fairly quickly. Alrighty, and now the enemy is so light on units that our own units are getting in each other's way. Unfortunately, I can't quite zoom in because this stupid little object means that the camera can't quite go down here. Or maybe it's this object, I don't know. Which is unfortunate. Okay, this is about as close as I can get. And then there were 4. I can't even say, and then there were 3. There we go. There's that death blow, 2. Another death blow. And 2 more. The last 2 die simultaneously and get 2 more death blows, and I wonder how many kills that unit will have had by the end. I'm frankly more interested in that than what we got in our own units. Kill-wise, though, admittedly, it was a great fight. Ooh, there we go. Very, very nice. If nothing else, that was an amazing doom for that unit of Grudge Settler Slayers. Long after the settlement had fallen, they fought on, cutting down 517 Clan Rats and Plague Monks. Absolutely magnificent, and them being on top of that wall as well meant that we couldn't use our monsters to bring them down quickly. And there was also the extremely dangerous moment where Cuddles almost got insta-killed at the very start of the battle. Definitely gotta be wary of Vanguard deploying when the enemy has those Iron Drakes, and of course that combination of the Grudge Settler, Grudge Throwers, popping in Monstrous Impact, which is a 75% move speed reduction, combining with suppression from the enemy towers, meaning that the A-bomb was moving at 3 move speed, i.e. effectively standing still. Very nasty. Ooh, that reminds me, we should do a slowdown army on this particular campaign. I mean, obviously warp quakes are, well, that's more like stop moving rather than slow down. I think that with the suppression from rattling guns in combination with the poison from gutter runner slingers would be very, very effective in terms of slowing enemies down. But anyway, we'll get to that later. For now, we got 6,000 gold for our trouble. We got 25 food, definitely needed, which bumps us at least back up to yellow rather than red. We've definitely needed that upkeep reduction. And we will be raising the place and then recolonizing it next turn. Free growth vat, free little bit more food, and avoids the public order penalties. So raise and stay right there. Damn. I was hoping that if I could stop him immediately, he might be able to immediately recolonize, but it looks like that's not happening. Engineer's knapsack. Ooh, good find. Very good find. Not for you. Not for you. But who are you? Ekich Stab. Oh, that was the last of the, that was the fourth Packmaster in that particular army. Dwarf Thing Menace. Wow, this is so appropriately unlocked immediately after we took on the dwarfs the first time, and immediately build the Dwarf Thing Menace. Makes sense. If anybody's going to be adaptable to combat and devise some crazy tech to deal with stuff, it's going to be the Skaven. Anyway, the Engineer's Knapsack. Let's give it to you. In fact, everybody in this army could really use it. Not for the ammunition or the armor, but for the restock. Well, actually, the armor would also be helpful on these guys. Although I don't care for the loss of speed. I'll think about it. Either way, these guys run out of ammunition. The Shuriken run out of ammunition so darn quickly. The ability to re-up them would just be absolutely fantastic. Anyway, what else have we got here? In this particular army, I think we're ready to start going through Tail Weapon and buffing up the Master Assassin here, so let's do that. Alrighty, Throt. We'll level you up next time you fight, I think, and hopefully these guys cannot regular stance towards Dehov. Don't screw me on this game or I will be so salty. You... Alright, let me just see here. We should probably save for help at breeding efficiency and all the good stuff up here, so maybe actually we'll go for the food thing next, the capacity and the food generation. It looks like we're gonna be needing it more than I was originally expecting at this time, which, you know, fair enough. What about these techs? What is super important? Do we have missile resistance for help at abomination available to us? Looks like we don't. In fact, no missile resistance for any Moulder units? That would have been really nice. Clan Rat upkeep reduction. We are about to start making Clan Rats for the Clan Rat army. And then, you know, giving them their names as well. Hero recruit rank for Assassins. I don't dislike the character experience gain +5, but it's not anything crazy. Hero action cost. I think there was something that gave us a big amount of hero success chance somewhere. I don't remember where it is, though. I'm gonna have to take another look at finding it. I'm just looking for something that we might want to head towards because it's something that would be very, very effective for us. Melee attack for Plague Monks, more character experience gain, but that's pretty much, you know, available in lots of places in this tree. This is a really good one, ensure product quality, but we're not using too many weapons teams as yet, even though that will change more and more as our empire growth continues. Experience plus 100% for units, not for characters. Nothing that's super critical to rush towards by the looks of it. At least so far. Yeah, so yeah, it's not as important. Alright, well then, I guess out of these, I'm going to say, let's buff up the Skaven slaves and the Clan Rats then. Might as well. Well, you know what, let's start with harsh production quotas for the upkeep reduction for the Clan Rats, and then move to numbers beyond counting. Alright, that looks good. And let's move everybody else. So, Skittis and Thankwall, you're gonna go here, rather. And Skittis, you're going to jump over. Like so, as soon as Thankwall stops moving, at least. And we gotta get to the Gormadni tribe before they redeclare war on us, because they absolutely, positively will. You. Okay, so Thankwall, you are going to get the Council Guard, so we need to make sure that your army has 19 units rather than what you currently have. You are gonna get the Stormvermin, the Plague Monks, the Poisonmen, Globadiers, and both of the... Okay, you know what, let's do this. Are all these units going to you? You have a chieftain, don't you? Okay, yeah, so minus the chieftain. Oh, you need a packmaster as well. Okay, we'll build you a packmaster. Let's do... Because we need more Moulder presence in Thankwall's army. Especially if you guys don't... If there was a comment about not bothering to give Thankwall more regular rat ogres than Bone Ripper, and if that's the case, we still need Moulder presence in his army, so we'd have to use packmasters or something for that. Anyway, the Clan Rats are leaving his army for the other army. The chieftain will stay. I guess remove the Skaven slaves as well. We have something of a melee line. Now, we might be a little bit too scryer heavy in this army. I'm tempted to... Let me see here. I'm tempted to make some adjustments, but anyway, we can deal with that later. You can then trade the Clan Rats to Skittis and then take a... well, he's going to actually have to recruit here, so yeah, and that'll be in a bit. Also, Skittis, before I forget, yes, you do have Root Marcher, good for you. And who is Pastich again? You're a frontline, right? Oh, okay, so we can just give you the extra Skaven slaves, which aren't going to be in Skittis' army, because he's going to be more fire and clan rat heavy to build around the Clan Vulcan Tail Slashers. The Chieftain will be in his army to buff the clan rats. This only gives them leadership and upkeep reduction, which is kind of irrelevant. I'm actually surprised by the fact that this doesn't give them any kind of buffs, like melee attack, defense, or really anything. It would be nice. But oh well. I suppose at the end of the day, you're not supposed to expect your clan rats to be strong. Anyway, Schreier and Skittis are both fine. They're providing public order. Pastich is just moved and cannot move further, contrary to what this is suggesting. And Rat Burglar and Pustin... Ooh, yes, okay, so... Can you reach Jarnagrund this turn? Go, go, go. Here, right? Should be here? That's here. Establish Warlock Laboratory. Can you reach it in one go? Looks like you can. Gorth the Cruel won't be super happy about it, and the... Well, going up down to minus 33. What do we get for this? Great Temple of Hashid. We're probably not going to go all the way out here. It would be nice to have, but I'd rather have 100 cities like this everywhere. There we go. Experience gain for Warlock Engineers. Research rate. Oh, it gives us capacity as well. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And we need to build the other important thing, which is the subterranean pit, so that it begins to propagate, despite the fact that it costs money. And this will be up to 20... discoverability, but it looks like we're okay. Especially since Jarnagrund is maxed out, it's not going to get more discoverability, so you'll never be found. At least with only those two buildings. Alright, Skittis is good. Rat Burglar... Oh, right, I almost forgot about you. Go down to Ironback Hold. I was going to say Ironback Hotel. Steel Tech. And keep moving your way southward. Oh, I'm going to pass a Tzeentch faction, which I don't like. Maybe we can go around it and avoid it. Oh, this is also Tzeentchly corrupted. We gotta go south to get to the other rats down there. We don't know any other Tzeentch factions, do we? I really don't want them trading our territories, and no, we don't know any Tzeentch factions. So, while we're here, let's check diplomacy. Iron Skins, hello, Ogre faction. Friends with Saber Skin, how do the Ogres feel about you? Or how do the Chaos Dwarfs rather feel about you? They're not big fans, admittedly. Maybe we'll try Goldtooth instead. And what about here? Clan Grittis is the one we want. We don't really care about Creepus. Nobody wants to peace out with us. Valdenhof wants a non-aggression pact, which is kind of surprising since we're allied with their enemies. And Gragamugar Camp we will redeclare war on in, I want to say, 8 turns or something along those lines. Alright, the rest of this looks good to me, so I believe, minus building, we're ready to end the turn. Alright, so, Gates of Hell, you will switch back to expansionist planning, as we will be building some important stuff next turn. You'll be losing a little bit of public order, but that's life. Mantcore Hunting Grounds does need to be upgraded. 2.7k. A little bit on the expensive side. Prague I'd love to upgrade as well, but I think it's a little bit too costly right now. 7th Circle. In theory, we will need to delete the Overseer's Lookout, so we'll do that right now and then replace it with the other Overseer's Lookout. And then here we will build the generator to make money out of the depths of hell, and we need to upgrade the Skaven Stronghold to max that out as well. What is this again? This is the Clan Barracks, which we, well, probably will keep there, and just for the capacity. Svedora is fine, Siniza is fine, at the very least I don't want to invest in it at the current time, but you, I do want to invest in Exotic Animal Pen, and Gem Cutter's Workshop, definitely another public order building. And let's max out Galrock's Lair for more money. And Krazend, yeah, go for the Overseer's Lookout as well. Alright. And then that's pretty much all the money we have, so we'll ignore the rest of this. Correct Peak and Kislev is fine by the looks of it. It looks like we're good. And we should probably preemptively knock out these vamps before they cause us any problems. Or before these guys retake their territory, but that's after we take in Kodevna. We should also probably take the opportunity to build a stack here. We can also make ruins out of these settlements if we're not intent on settling them as yet. That's a decent option. Because we can't go too much further south right now, we just don't have the armies for it. Yeah, that's probably the way that we do it. And then, oh, maybe we'll use Biofitch to generate a bunch of Skaven slaves and just sit in Kislev. Oh, actually, speaking of, Mutagen. You, we will need to do stuff with. You have the minus 50 future augments cost. Good. And you are going to unlock the other augments so that we can continue powering up our Skaven slaves. So, we've already unlocked these. Meaning we don't need to... Oh, okay, then we can start unlocking monster augments. Isn't that beautiful? Huh, wait, so these have been unlocked, but none of them were built by the new Skaven slave builder? Maybe they were just only recently unlocked, because you built all the blue stuff and none of the purple stuff. Maybe you can't random into them? I guess we'll find out. Anyway, thank Cole, your army's gotten a little bit too expensive, which is kind of not good, but anyway. What I would like to then do is take you, solo little wolf rat unit, and we need to start applying this stuff to unlock stuff. Although, wait, propane perspiration. Yeah, this is Weeping Blade, which is actually for wolf rats a fairly decent option, but it would be better on the non-poison wolf rats because it applies a trait. We don't have any spare wolf rats in here, do we? We do not, unfortunately. All right, so here's what we'll do. Where's the rat ogres? You guys. If we are intending on moving you out of the army, we'll give one of you propane perspiration, like so. Oh, and he immediately went for instability. Okay, well, wait, doesn't that mean we're better off recycling you? A moment. So this will give us 60 growth juice. Will it increase the amount of growth juice if we keep augmenting you? I mean, you have the cheaper augments now, so we should probably take advantage of it and then recycle you. All right, fine. Let's go select augment panel. Missile resistance. I just want to unlock these. I mean, I guess we could unlock this one as well here. So it's only 12 right now. Unlock. And no, future augment cost is still minus 50%, so these should still be at 12. Keep unlocking. Mammoth skin, whatever. And minus 50 still up. Fly. Beautiful. And is minus 50. Okay, it's gone. Okay, so now this is 50. So now what we can do is recycle the poor little guy. They're poor little guys. For a solid 240 growth juice. Isn't it lovely? Alright, recycle. Yes. Alright, that bumps us up to... Well, that was, what, a little bit over 20%? That's pretty good. Because then this will get bumped up again shortly. Alright, and then this rat ogre can then, I guess, be transferred out of this army. Might as well. And then wait. Assuming that Thankol gets a Packmaster, he then lacks stuff again. You know what? Take a couple of the Skaven slaves back. You can take these minus the Packmaster. Yes. Alright. Well, looks pretty good. We got plenty of decent damage dealers. This isn't the complete form of the army, but it's certainly starting to look good. We need Eshin presence, so... And we'll replace 2 of these guys with Eshin units, as I don't like the fact that we have no Eshin presence whatsoever. All the great clans must be represented in this army. Yeah, our Scryer is a little bit too heavy. So we'll need to probably swap out the Warp Grinders. I think. And I will continue thinking about it, but not now. Anyway, we will skip, and unless I'm mistaken, end the turn? End the turn. Alright, hello. Spread count rumors, control +2 all provinces. That's probably what we're gonna do. You're at 10 out of 10 loyalty, absolutely. Alright, a warlord, thought to be loyal honest, sends whispers of discontent across your portion of the Under Empire. This reeks of a plot and must be stopped at once. What are you doing, Thankol? Yes. Spread counter rumors. Have your own network spread rumors of this one's meek paunch and short tail. Highlight that he smells like an elf thing's water. Yes. Alrighty. Wild Hunt begins relevant to us. Clan Rat upkeep production also frankly kind of relevant to us. And hey, our first tier 5 settlement is complete. Beautiful. Hey, another Trickster's Shard. That's real nice. It's gonna be a question as to whose army this is best. And I'm gonna give it to Thankol for now. He hasn't achieved anything, but he's getting all the best stuff. Book of Assurance stuff. This is so lore accurate. Anyway, just continues failing upwards. Well, not that he's failed, but in this particular campaign, but you know what I mean. Anyway, you can hold on to the other Trickster Shard for now. I might trade that out for a Scalm, because he's going to be a big target, and thus we'll need healing in this particular army, but for now... Yeah, well, he's going to go after the Gormadni tribe, so start moving through to Monolith of Beorg. We should also get to you, assuming that we can't build Packmasters here or Packmaster out of this place. And we are 5 out of 6 capacity. Poxbringer, let's go with you. Yes. Alright. That's at least some Moulder presence. I'll probably double up on the Packmasters in his army, so if we can get the other one, the Tide... This is Poxbringer, I think the other one's Deathbringer. Yeah. And then keep building up capacities. Again, because they have Ratketeering and we need them for trade. You, Skittis, will go into Krazund, like so. Hustich, you will swap some stuff around. And we are going to give the Rat Ogres and all the Clan Rats and this stuff to you. You can lose... Frankly, lose all the Skaven slaves and stuff for now. We're going to rebuild your army shortly. In fact, once you get to the first circle, going to give you some fire stuff. Warp fire throwers, etc, etc, etc. Has a public order here. Can Skittis move as yet? No. What we'll send him around when we need. Technologies. I believe I said we were going to buff up the Clan Rats and Skaven slaves, so I guess we'll keep doing that. You know what? Let's get practice Goater. Well, 5 turns. I wanted the character experience gain. Oh, I do like the recruit rank bonus for Packmasters as well, since we'll be building a lot of them. Yeah, Squid, go for practice Goaters. I don't see why not. And then keep waiting on the Rat Force, and... Oh, right, we need the... Spend a little bit more money on the important stuff here. So we need layers, so you keep going up with the dens, and then this is being constructed, so it's fine. Alright. Ignore the rest of that. Alright, Throt, it's back to you. Oh, they were certainly close. Mormel, you are going to occupy Dehov. Wonder what our food's gonna be at. Oh, are these guys going to Uvetsen? I wonder whether they can actually reach it. I wonder if we can actually reach it. Yeah, we should probably be able to. Go into encamp... Oh, that does not take you as far as I'd like. Alright, you know what? Mormel, occupy this. Let's put it up to tier 2. Ugh, that takes us back to orange. Okay, I guess we won't be able to do this as quickly as I'd like. You know what? Keep it at tier 1. Although if we build it at tier 2, we'll immediately be able to upgrade it. Yeah, but it'll cost us so much money that we don't save anything. Alright, fine, just colonize at tier 1. Oh, that's supposed to... Ah, how dare you! It went back to orange anyway. Well, screw you too, game. Nest layer, collect income, build the clan pit, because we need military structures here, because we're looking to trade it. You, sir, are going to raid this territory. I believe these guys don't go around and immediately attack, but we'll see. Hey! The heck is this? Why did you get blocked by a hero? Are you serious? How dare you? Anyway, you go like that. And then you can raise it and then have Mormel occupy it. I think that's the way we do it. Alright, we need food, desperately. I guess we'll need to construct more food buildings as well. Okay, could you stop trying to steal the territories we worked for? These guys are so annoying. Go occupy Inkadevna. They're behaving absolutely Skavenly, and it's infuriating. Only we're allowed to do that. Colonize. Urskoy River is now ours. You're going to switch to... 500 money. You know what? Start collecting it. Go for expansions planning. We'll need to speed up some of the stuff we build. Let's also go for the Cinnabar mining pit here. And, oh, we can actually upgrade Kislev immediately to tier 5. Because we have that +2 per newly occupied territory, don't we? On the other hand, do we want to spend 10,000 gold? At this point, I don't think the place will be easily taken over, and that will allow us to build a tier 5 construction cavern, which means access to additional warlock engineers. Oh. Tranquil could use a warlock engineer, couldn't he? I'll think about it. Anyway, the rest of this is good, minus Bilefitch, who needs to do this. And where are the other Skaven slaves? They're mostly here to provide additional public order, in addition to if these guys attack. We will want defenses of Gurslev, which are going to be built now as well. Oh, I guess if we build them next turn, then we can reduce the time to be built by 1. Yeah, fine, I'll do that. Alright, who still needs to move? Rat burglar, always. Can never stop the burgling. This kind of puts you closer to Desolation of Drakenmore, but what can you do? Still gotta steal that tech. Always with the tech thievery. So, do these guys like each other? They do not. Okay, good. So the undead will be happy about this whole situation. The Jarna Grunt thing is looking good. We are nearly ready to end the next turn. Skittis is fine. We do have more mutagen to spend and unlock more stuff, but we can wait on it a little bit. And the rest of this looks good. Alrighty. Building. So the most important thing is this warpstone reactor here, which is expensive, but it is what it is. And then the tier 5 here, 2.7 and 2.7k, meaning we can't afford to build the other stuff, but that's not surprising. You know what, let's also build the assassin's hideout. I've been really hankering to get an Ashen Sorcerer up and running. We need at least one building that allows us to build them, and well, we have it here in the first circle, so we may as well. Do we switch out of expansionist planning now? Those were the critical things. I don't really care about the other things at the moment, or at the very least we can't afford them, so switch back, I think, to efficient planning. 8th circle. Oh, right. You are going to get a generator, which we now can't afford. Alright, fine. This place is still in exploitative planning. I'd switch this place since this public order is good, but, well, it's not happening. In fact, let's take a look at the other places that have good public order. You're not maxed out yet. You are. Frog. You can switch, at least for a time, to exploitative planning at the cost of a little bit of money. We need to get our food supply going again. So yes, switch back in Prague. Pit Bottom is fine as it is. Fedora can't switch. Siniza is not ready yet. You're not ready yet. You're not ready yet. You're not ready yet, unsurprisingly, and I believe that's it. Alright. A little bit more food. Yeah, our settlement upkeep being at -56 means our food generators, our giant fungi caverns, are not keeping pace with what we need in terms of food. We also got a lot of new food consumption buildings built, so yeah, we're gonna have that. Anyway, diplomacy. And, ooh, Ironskins are ready to trade. Well, even with the Chaos Dwarfs not liking this too much, I think it's always worth getting new trading partners, so even if this gets cancelled eventually, we'll do this for now. Alright, good. Anybody else want anything? Not anybody that we want to be friends with. Alright, that sounds like an end turn to me. So skip the Undercity upgrade, and at least we're making 909,000 gold per turn. Really need to get back up to yellow, though. End turn. Alright, what do we have here? Bilefitch. Boommaster, upkeep production for Plague Claws, and the missile strength increase, eh? Expand Tunnels gives us growth faction-wide, Odd Powder Keg just gives us Flash Bomb. This is a pretty good mutation. I guess the Grey Seer with... oh, Plague Grey Seer. You were going to have Plague Claw Catapults. Well, I guess you're going to be our Plague Army. Good luck. And Bilefitch, appropriate name for it as well. Everything's coming up Millhouse. Alrighty. Bilefitch. Yeah. Grey Seer of Plague. You're going to be commanding our Plague Player Priests. I like it. I like it a lot. For now, just keep building those piles of Skaven saves. Yeah, I see they're only getting the blue and not the purple traits. I'm just wondering whether you have to, you know, build them once before they're truly unlocked, but I don't think that's the case. Not that it's important right now. Anyway, keep building these guys until you have a full stack here. Confederation, Great Orthodoxy and Saryovshchina, Reichland and Vesterland, growth of that batch available. And we're good. Alrighty. Throt. Oh, actually, wait. First thing is first, as it usually is. You can reach this place, meaning we can, you know, steal it from these guys because they're being irritating. The main thing I want to do is this. Okay, we got 3. Okay, you're nearly there, you're nearly there. Okay, so we don't need to invest in you yet. Need to unlock these 2 techs. You can just keep building these techs. You're at 195, so not there yet unless we want to go for help at breeding efficiency, but now we're going to go for the food generation. We desperately need it right now. Alright, our money is back to only 7.2k per turn, but that'll hopefully change. What do we have in terms of defenders here? Nothing to write home about, so... Yeah, okay, so go to Vetsen. Auto-resolve it for obvious reasons. And then raise it. Alright, enemy killed in battle. Hey, a potion of healing, very nice find. I don't know if Scalm is better, but anyway. You, Mr. Mormel, will go to Vetsen now. And occupied for us at tier 1. And here... Okay, wait, yeah, colonize at tier 1, good. And then don't collect the income, and don't upgrade it either. This place... You're actually going to need growth, because... We want to trade it to these guys. What's this place called? Dehov. 100. We want to trade it to them for a massive amount of war declarations, and it'll also mean, actually pretty good already, in order to get the Confederation from them. They're at minus 54 now, but if we declare war against a bunch of powerful factions, we could probably make it happen. And the main thing is that it needs to be some specific factions. I'm not sure that we should risk Karak-Kadrin, because they could walk through their territory and move towards us. Valky's still pretty okay with us, and this place... Has it been upgraded? I wonder. What's this place called? Bloody Spires? Yeah. Still 12.8. Okay, so has not been upgraded, and... plus 18. Okay, so Valky is just sitting here. I wonder if we could get her to fight somebody for us. Well, either way. You. Fade Rife, go this way. Well, can we get another Packmaster of the type that we want? Musk of Bravery, no. Another Scabbed Scarred available. Okay, we gotta get these up and running at all times. So yes to you, Mr. Scabbed Scarred. Checking all the other heroes. I don't dislike the cheap Death Frenzy, especially in any army that has decent amounts of clan rats. Well, actually, really any melee pilot units, so should certainly keep an eye on that. Ah, and a good assassin, but we don't have the additional capacities for them as yet. Should we get this guy? I fear that this way Thanquol might have too many heroes, although on the other hand, the Chieftain is effectively a Rat Ogre rider, and the Plague Priests are support units, they don't act as heroes. The Packmasters are Brood Horrors, but also mini-Waz. Maybe. It depends on... Well, you know what? Somebody's going to need this guy, right? So we might as well get him up and running. Let's get you. I'm almost tempted to not get this guy and then just use you as a tech thief instead. Because we need them, but, you know, we'll just deal with it for now. Alrighty, that was a lot of our money tied up in those heroes. Just gonna have to get it back. Alright, so, Mr. Crocronid. What's the best way to do that right now? You know, I was going to raise these, but now that we have competition nearby who is attempting to take all of our territories, maybe we're better off sacking these territories and then dealing with the them after. So I think we'll start sacking all the territory around here. We can always raise it later. So Crocronid, that's going to be your job for a while. Oh, you gotta be freaking kidding me! It's gonna kill the poor Brood Horror. All right, well, I guess we're gonna have to manually fight it at max speed. All right, fight battle. I fear that this army might not be particularly effective at auto-resolving. Which is absolutely silly considering the sheer odds that this army has just overcome. With very little in the way of losses, mind you. But it's all good. At max speed, the battle should go by fairly quick. Actually, we could probably make it a pseudo-cinematic as I could just not really control the army. In this particular situation. Hopefully. I don't like the fact that the enemy has this heal to rely on, but we'll see. Anyway, gutter runners. Okay, you two. You can go right here. You can go right here, and then move immediately. You assassins are gonna go here, here, and here. And then the important things are you guys, with you nearby to protect them. Like so. Like, let's say... Oh, this little rock is blocking us. Alright, I'll screw you too, game. Do this instead then, and then do... I don't know. That? Will they be able to reach them? I fear not. Alright, then go like... this, and then like this. Alright, then you guys... are going to need to rush forward. You can stay back here in case the enemies charge us from this direction, and I think that's it, minus the skirmish mode that has to be up. Alright, good enough. Alright, start battle, you guys go here. All of you activate your invisibility. You guys will move forward now. Assassins, I would like you to move forward as well. Alright, and then you four, not you, go here. Alright, then we will... Oh, we don't have summoning available to us. Well, it is what it is. So you guys are firing away. Let's move you up a teensy bit. Once these guys have moved forward a little bit. Alright, good. You guys stay. Keep providing support as needed. Enemy's not really reacting to us, but that's hardly surprising in this particular situation. Good, good. You guys stay just far enough back so that you don't get fired upon. Alright, you guys move here. You move here. 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 The slingers can't fire while moving, so we have to, you know, not just rush forward and fire at the same time. Alright, slingers firing away. We need to get up those kills because there's still going to be an issue for us. Alright, move. Alright, enemy's moving now, I think. Yes, alright, now time to activate the ballistics calibration. No, actually move a little bit more forward. And come on, nearly there. Alright, there we go. Fire the Doom Rocket at one of these guys, and... Assassins, you should probably be fine. Actually, you know what? I need one of you to go here, shadow those things in the woods, and I need one of the Brood Horrors to do this. Actually, well, this one is fine. Alright, you're fine. Throw a Crackle Bomb at one of these guys. You guys get the Doppelganger moving and summon it here as soon as you reach there. There's the enemy lord. Let's pop up that Looming Dread on you. Alright, everybody else is fine. We can move forward the Shuriken Throwers. We can move forward these guys. Let's actually back you off because you're starting to take damage, but activate the Moulder. Wait, this only works for monsters, doesn't it? Or does it? No, just Skaven. Alright, so we're fine. Alright, now you guys go charge those things in the woods. You go after them. You intercept. Doppelgangers have been summoned. I don't need you to fight, and then I guess we can move in you. And the assassin. Well, actually, there's no need. The range unit should take care of it. Alright, you're healing. Your damage is minimal. Move in. You guys are done for. Alright, stop. Don't hurt the Brood Horror, and then as soon as these guys are done with By Our Blood, we'll be done. There we go, alright. Yeah. Brood Horror's not dying today. Alright, 22 losses, obviously... not horrible at all. Oh, actually, I have curiosity. 19,000 damage. Yes, so I see that the slingers in this particular situation are outdoing the Geta Runners, the Shuriken Geta Runners with pure damage, but one of the big reasons for that in this particular situation is that the enemy didn't have a lot of units that were rushing towards our lines, which when those guys do, like the cavalry, like the single entities, they're the ones that get minced by the armor-piercing Shuriken. And obviously kind of the same thing goes for the Brood Horrors, which didn't have the opportunity to fight here as much as they normally might. 73 kills on you, huh? I wonder if that was, I don't know how much of that was due to the Crackle Bombs and how much was due to your checking your range weapons. I still really strongly feel that the Skaven assassin heroes really need a range weapon. It's kind of silly that they don't, but anyway, you are going to sack the place for cash. Alright, and hey, another Shadow Magnet Trinket, very nice. In fact, I think we have the first one on you, right? Yeah. It gives the missile block chance plus 20% when you're out of melee, and these guys are sort of among the main line for a lot of the time and not in melee, which is a good opportunity for them to use this. And we have another Armor of Silvered Steel, definitely want to put that to use. Where is this item? I forgot what it was called, which is why... Oh, there it is. Shadow Magnet Trinket. Alright, if you guys could have those, that would be great. You will switch to Raiding Stance. Raid it for a bit, and then head to Kamish. That also didn't max out our food, unfortunately. But oh well. We'll just have to find more. Skittus. And you know what? I think a slight change in plans for some of the stuff. Your public order is nearly there. Well... build this. To get more public order, we can put a bunch of these guys into different stances, although actually you need to fix the public order. Is this place being raided? Collected income, commandment, faction size. Oh, we built the commandment up to upgrade Kislev to tier 5, but I'm not doing that right now. Anyway, Traer, you're at 100, but you're kind of stuck where you are, unfortunately, because these guys could come along. Though on the other hand, with the vision that we have from these guys, we could move you to Prague. Oh, there's no need to move you to Prague. Huh, we could move you to First Circle then. Alright, go to First Circle, max out the public order there. For now. Go, 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 nearly there. Lovely. Okay, so that's you. You... And Thankful. Okay, so Thankful, you will have your guys, but I would like you to... be raiding stance, or would that be in these guys' territory? It would be in these guys' territory, wouldn't it? Alright, fine. Jump over that and go to... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. We can't go to our Spherulings? Alright, fine. You're then going to take the turn. You know what? Go into encamp then. We'll generate at least a little bit of food this way. And it'll give some time for the other units to catch up. Alright. Skittis. And Postich. What the heck? Why do you have items? Is there a reason I gave you items? I think it was for a fight. For some specific fight. Was it? Alright, anyway. You are going to go... Look over here is actually fine. Go this way. We're probably going to have you recruit some stuff for Skittis while Skittis follows Thankful for a little bit longer and continues racking up the additional XP. And no need to get him all the way over here just to build the warp fire throwers, which we're going to do anyway. Alright. You're good. Rat Burglar. You need to steal tech, as one does. I wonder if this place is reachable. Okay, go nearly there and see if you can reach it. You have 5 turns. Alright, start moving down. I'm moving down this way. Try to avoid the Zinchans. And I believe we're good to go. Minus building. Okay, well. Oh, we will also have to decide where to send Mr. Throt the Unclean. And now, one of the things I wanted was to get the Nemesis Crown from Drika, but right now I don't think we can afford the negative relations with all the factions that it would confer. We could go up to fight Karak Kadrin, though, which is a pretty decent option for Throt, both from the defeat trait that it will offer and from the fact that it will allow us to declare war on them with these guys. So I think that's the way that we go with Throt. It makes sense to me. Although our short victory condition involves wiping out all the Kislevites, which means sending more armies that way. But we got other armies to do that. It doesn't have to be Throt. Anyway, First Circle. I really want this, so we're gonna do it, even though it's expensive right now. 3 turns. Or we could wait until next turn and build several things. I do want that other construction cavern, but I think it's kind of overly expensive right now. Just wait for the Den of Secrets. Alright, Prague. I would love to upgrade you. We're in exploitative planning, so it would take several turns to build. Let's see if there's any smaller buildings that we can build that would give us money. Not you, like here. Krasund. You're gonna get a storage cave. What about here? And we can upgrade Jaderna. Upgrade the Warren here. I missed the 9,000 gold per turn. And it's gonna go lower once the 13th scheme is gone as well. Anyway, build the public order building thing here, build the storage caves here, build the public order building thing here, and then another storage caves there. Now, this will be replaced later, and this will be replaced by a Packmaster thing. In fact, we could probably do it right now. Kislev. Let's build the underdocks, because it's a lot of money generation. Warp lightning capacitors, obviously. Overseer's lookout, also, obviously. And go for the Taskmaster's platform at Gerslev, although it's a little bit in danger from attack from these guys. You know what, maybe briefly at least use the alarm tunnel, but then swap it out later. Alright, Kislev Foothills, you're going to be traded, so we are ignoring you for now. Uvetsin. I think I don't want to invest in this, but for now, build an S-layer. Who knows? I don't remember this place. Oh, it's irrelevant. And Karak Peak. We might keep and we might trade to Valkia if she's completely unwilling to give up Bloody Spires. Alright, that looks good. We were out of money, we're out of moves, and that's another end turn. So skip, end turn. Estus the Leech Lord wants a trade agreement. Yeah, why not? Alright, military access, non-aggression pact, give us all the money that you've got, and just keep causing havoc, I guess. And if we should need to betray you, we'll simply do so. The main issue with Festus is that Vlad might not like him, but if we have to make a choice, we'll pick Vlad any day. A new regional power, the Great Orthodoxy. Huh, well that's kind of interesting. Regional power, you say? Okay. Growth batch available. Hey, we're nearly turned over again. And okay, you guys are looking to wipe out the orcs here, ain't you? I don't like that. I think then Mr. Crocronate is going to go and wipe you out now. They don't actually hate us, but at the same time, I don't like the fact that they're near to Erengrad at the current time. These guys are taking territory as well. But we don't have the armies to hold the territory that we take here, so we will not do so. Anyway, I would like you to go this way, stack Canish, and then start moving this way to intercept. Alright, go here. And hey, it won't kill our brood horror this time. How to resolve, and it won't even damage the. What the heck, game? What are you? I don't know. Suck. All right, free artifact hunter. We'll take it. And Crocronade, you can march stance, or you can raid. A little bit more food. You won't heal a dude doing this. I'd rather you heal to full and not waste any movement. All right, go this way. Now, Throt is actually kind of near to these guys. Huh. I wonder if they're going to immediately try to cross the water. We could take the turn. You know what? I think we're going to send Throt this way for at least the turn. So Throt, go into raiding stance or right at the edge of this territory. Oh, you need healing. Never mind. All right, go into encamp stance in our own territory then. Allow Cuddles to heal. For Cuddles. And Mormel, you're going to keep following Throt around. You can go in encamp stance as well, so you're not costing us as much food. Lovely. That's probably one of the big reasons that we're losing so much food right now. But once the public order issue is dealt with, then we can deal with the food instead. All right. So Thankful. Okay, are you willing to give us military access? You are not. Can we redeclare war on Gragamagar camp yet? E5 turns, so not yet. All right, what about any trade agreements or anything interesting out here? No dice? Hey, 36.6. Ah, they've declared war on Wargrove of... No, wait. They've declared war on Karak Kadrin. I was going to force them into it anyway. You know what? That's good. I like it. We are not going to do anything about this as yet. Let them lose a couple of armies fighting Karak Kadrin. Then we'll trade them this to force them to declare war on Reichland and probably a bunch of other factions. That will probably enable the Confederation, and giving us this portion of the mountains. And then keeping our empire sort of close together rather than spread out. Which is good because, once again, we're trying to kick up our economy, and I don't want to spread our territory out too much. Anyway, Crocronid, go to regular stance, I guess. I didn't finish dealing with you. Skittis, you are going to go to Mantcore Hunting Grounds. Oh, public order here is fine, but at least we can deal with you. Pustitch. You know what, if Skittis is going this way, maybe we'll just use Skittis to recruit and then just jump him down to Frozen Landing instead, and then use Pustitch to follow. So Pustitch, you're a frontline rat, yeah? Yeah. You're probably going to be our Skaven slave army as well, so yeah, go down here. And we'll be redeclaring war on these guys shortly, so Thankful, that's you. You are going to jump down here. Move together. Alright, Holliver Slow is well defended by the looks of it. I wonder if these guys would be willing to attempt to defend Ersfjord Port. I guess we'll find out. Declare war. You are currently at war with Cetra's Revenge and House of Zark. Declare war, don't call allies to help. Although, if we called our allies to help, what if these guys would betray us? It would allow us to break our agreements without having to deal with them, right? You know what? I don't dislike the idea. Call allies to help. Let's see if they attempt to betray us. Refuse. They did not. Ow. The one time I actually want that to happen. Oh well. Oh well. Still a very high reliability, which is good. Who's next? Trare. What's the public order at here at First Circle? Basically done, meaning you can now stand outside of it and go into offensive and camp. Oh, actually, you should probably go into Fourth Circle instead, then. Alright, go into Fourth Circle, which you can't reach. Alright, fine. Go into Fifth Circle. Provide the bonus public order until it maxes itself out. It's not great here. And I'm willing to bet, yeah, there's no way that this takes it now. It's just not possible. But since we're planning to betray these guys anyway, that works just fine. Alright, anybody else? Bilefitch. Your public order is still being fixed, so that'll be for a little bit. Gerslev is fine. Blight. Appropriate name. Whose army were you going to go into? I imagine Thanquil won't need a second one of these guys. We already have plenty of Plague Priest presence. You are Typhus Rat. Okay, so you can go join Thanquil. Although I guess if we move the other guy down here by jumping, or, you know, underway stancing, we can just pop him into your army. Temporarily. If I can remember who needs to go into what army. Where's the Packmaster? That's you. Fade Rife. Okay, you go there. You're definitely needed. In fact, I'd like to check on the other Packmasters. What do we have? Not the ones we want. Oh well. What about these guys? Plague-addled, hideous stench. Nope. And we have no spares of you guys. Oh well. Alright. Typhus Rat and the other guy then. Go into this army. And I will try to remember that you're supposed to go to Thanquil. Well, actually, you're not, but... I wonder if we keep you in this army. You could potentially power up the clan rats and summon more clan rats. Yeah, a clan rat army will probably want access to Vermintide, so in fact we may want 2 of them in this army. Then next, since we're looking to recruit soon, we will be wanting the arsenal for the warp fire throwers, and probably the poison wind mortars as well. Expensive though it may be, start building it. Alright, and speaking of building, assuming that we're done with the... Okay, Rat Burglar, I'm not done with you. In fact, Steel Tech maxed out now. Beautiful. Alright, go steal from Ironclad Skull's hold. Success, and... now we're good. Alright, building. Anything cheap and effective. Gates of Hell, you're fine. Gorbani hold, yes, money. Exotic Animal Market, Overseer's Lookout, Public Order is good here now. And then you will need to get storage caves. Everywhere needs storage caves, except not you. You are liking storage caves, but until we have a wider border, we can't do anything about it. We could upgrade Prague to the next level now. Yeah, fine, do it. It's expensive, but we'll deal with it. You need... okay, you're fine, actually. You're fine. In fact, we don't really have the money to build anything. Though, I guess we could upgrade this place to get the... oh, I was saving up the money to upgrade the Skaven Stronghold. You know what? Yeah, forego building anything expensive, we'll do that. And then where is Plesk again? You're all the way up here. Alright, you're gonna need another Packmaster building. Beautiful. Alright, good enough. Skip. And, oh, under cities. Oh no, wait. I might have to cancel something. I just realized something. Yeah, you need to be upgraded, so we need 4,000 gold. Gotta get that Ratkin Mafia up and running as fast as we possibly can, and you need to be... You know what, I guess we're just going to have to wait. I don't want to... I'm too lazy to cancel anything. Well, actually, you know, Prague. 7,000 gold. That'll give us exactly the amount we need to upgrade both of you. I guess I'm not too lazy after all. So you're at plus 40. This will go up to plus 80, but once we unlock the tech, we'll just delete the place. Actually, we won't, because this is in Drakenhof, and this will actually make us a fairly decent chunk of change. Minus the food consumption, but there isn't too much we can do about it. Frankly... these things are actually costing us a fair bit of food, the subterranean pits, but there isn't much we can do about that either. Go for layers. Alright, 3 and 4 turns, and we know what techs we'll be going for. We'll actually probably want to build the kill perches as well, because... discoverability is a bit of a problem in Drakenhof right now. Alright, there goes all of our cash, but it's needed because it's new techs. End turn. Alright, what do we have here? Looks like they will indeed attempt to attack, as they do go for Pustich rather than Thanquil, so he'll have to come in as a reinforcement, which is admittedly a bit of a concern, but hopefully the Skaven saves can hold long enough for the elites to make their way onto the battlefield. It looks like we're fighting, and I'm certainly glad of it. I'd love to get some menace below here, but our food is in a situation right now, so we're just going to regular fight. Go. Alrighty, here we go. Kill, slay, indeed. That's always been the plan, though many a Skaven slave, I'm willing to bet, will get kill slain as well, as I imagine this should be a fairly tough fight. The enemy does have effectively a full stack between their two, and most of their unit quality is going to be considerably higher than ours. We also have the major issue of the underway working against us here, as the reinforcements under Thanquol are moving in on the enemy's side of the map, which, if we had, I wonder what would be the better way to play this. I mean, generally speaking, we could get behind the enemy army with Thanquol's army and appear there, but I decided to get them back here. The thing is, we do have the artillery and this army, and it would be nice to get them to fire upon the enemy as they approached. And thus, it's better to use the giant pile of Skaven slaves as a meat shield in order to allow those artillery pieces to fire. We'll see how effective it is shortly. Anyway, our Skaven slaves are just being forced to just sit there as the enemy chucks javelins and throwing axes into their line, but like many of our previous battles, we've got all these Skaven slaves just standing there, ready to absorb damage from the enemy, while the elites form up and wait for the enemy to get tired out. And I'm sure the volleys will dish out damage. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Due to the massive number of units in the Plague Claws, it looks like they appeared in such a way that a couple of them are close enough to the enemy for the enemy to actually hit them, which ain't great. On the bright side, the unit of Avalanche Mortars made its way onto the battlefield a little bit faster than the Plague Claws, and is already firing away while the Plague Claws are still getting into position. And there we go. Alright, first volley, pretty good, taking about 25% of the HP from 2 units of Marauder Berserkers, and that, keep in mind, with the Weather the Storm ability on the Berserkers, which gives them additional missile resistance, plus they got their physical resistance as well. Death Globes from the Avalanche Mortars come down, but the quick-moving Berserkers make their way forward fairly quick. And while the Death Globes will kill off a bunch of our own Skaven slaves, as they do, it's certainly damage that we're willing to take. Here come the 2 enemy Manticores, here one together with the enemy Chieftain, and will once again knock down those mutant Rat Ogres. Man, those guys go, they fall down so much. Again, just like Vargulfs, I really strongly feel that they need a little bit of a mass upgrade. It feels a little bit silly, but anyway, the enemy is definitely attempting to make a breach in our lines over all the way on the left flank, where the dogs and the monsters, i.e. the 2 Manticores and the Norscan trolls, or these are, Norscan trolls have made their way forward. We're going to stop them in their tracks with a seismic snare, and then pop off that warp quake as well, which heavily damages the enemy Berserkers. Here, our first units of Storm Vermin are attempting to hold the Berserkers off, though we got to be careful about killing too many of those Storm Vermin off with those Death Globes, and thus are going to back them off so that they don't suffer too much damage. Our mutant Rat Ogre Bone Ripper is in the midst of a duel with the enemy Manticore. He was hunting the enemy Lord, but the Lord ran past him with the distraction Manticore and being used. It worked out decently well for the enemy Lord, but not so well for the Manticore, who has nearly been torn to shreds by the Manticore. And the Marauder Chieftain himself on that chariot has been surrounded by our Warp Grinders, stopped with that seismic snare, and then heavily damaged. Battle has shifted to about 70% in our favor. Of course, several units of Trolls and Berserkers are still very much in the fight, though we have now moved Plague Monks and Storm Vermin to intercept them, and I don't imagine the Norscan Trolls will have an easy time making their way through them. Though admittedly, these are the Sword and Board Storm Vermin, and so they won't have as easy of a time against the Trolls. But at the same time, they can fight better against the enemy Berserkers, so you gotta choose one. You just gotta make sure that we have decent amount of anti-large in this army to deal with monstrous threats in the future. Anyway, another unit of Trolls makes their way forward. Fortunately, we do still have fairly decent numbers of Skaven slaves available. And though the Trolls charge right through them. And ooh, looks like Bone Ripper's down to about half of its HP. But we're still keeping the enemy back. And the Ephemeral Stalkers as well, which have been doing plenty of damage with their bleed and magical damage. Gotta love those mutant rat ogres, though. They are fairly fragile, but they do good work damage-wise, and too good work by the looks of it for the enemy as it realizes that it has no hope of winning its units and begin breaking the horns of retreat sound and the Norscans lament their trip into the underway. There we go. With that, the battle is ours, and Thanquol secures a victory in the name of the Council of 13. Or in the name of Thanquol. Anyway, a very, very nice fight. Definitely heavy damage to a lot of our units. We can see the Plague Monks here drop down to about half of their HP. Both of them, in fact, dropped down to about half of their HP. One of the Storm Vermin was severely damaged as well, and the other one suffered about 40% of its HP and damage. Poison Wind and Globadiers were hurt, and guys, please don't do that. You're gonna... Of course the AI will route into our battle lines. All of this free to run away. They're going to route into our Death Globe Bombardiers, who will promptly get hit by the Poison Winds. Though you'd think that with their masks, maybe they shouldn't be taking damage from the Poison Winds? Go figure. Isn't that what the masks are for? Should those units be immune to each other's damage? I wonder. Anyway, not super important. Battle's ours. We're going to do our best to destroy a few extra units with artillery fire and such, but yeah, Thanquol is looking like he's going to have a pretty fun campaign. Alrighty, there we go. Certainly the enemy gave us a fight. Bone Ripper took a bit of damage, but did 10,000 damage himself and spent the battle hunting the enemy lords. We've got obviously plenty of damage on the Avalanche Mortars, but that should hardly be of any surprise. And frankly, the terrain, despite being the underway, was actually working against us, as we didn't really have the time for Thanquol's army to set up, and due to the location where it was making its way onto the battlefield. But at the end of the day, we still did pretty well. I guess we're going to take the money for this one. Yeah, take the money. The healing would be nice, but it'll only heal Pustich's Skaven slave army, and we don't care. Sell off. Alright, what do we have here? The box of eerie noises again, and much as I'd love to get the bonus control, I think once again we're going to go for the research. It's really nice. Alrighty, growth vat patch available, good. While fails, war coordination, we can set a war coordination target, alright, fine. We're gonna betray you anyway, so what do we care? Attack target, you. There you go, free money. Keep doing our work for us there. Mr. Where'd the other army go? Weird. What was I saying? Keep doing our work for us, Mr. Azag. You, Thanquol. You're gonna get your Packmaster. Go. Yes. Like so. Then, we can't get the Council Guard here? Oh, well. I guess we will raise the place and then occupy it. It will mean not destroying this guy, which is a little bit unfortunate, but... I wonder if we occupy the place, we would be able to reach you, wouldn't we? But if we move Thanquol towards you, then we won't be able to do the same in one turn. Oh, and we're suffering attrition as well. It might actually be more beneficial for us to wait the turn. Actually, the game might actually force us to fight this again. But you will have no more room if you do this. It's a better way to do it. If you go here, okay, out of curiosity, if you go here, would you be able to still reach him? Yes. It will mean Thanquol won't be able to... Yeah, he'll have to suffer a turn of attrition, but I guess that's what we'll do. I guess maybe I should have gone for the anti-attrition thing after all. Much as I wanted the food, maybe this is the time, since we're going to be in Chaos territory for a while. Alright, fine, we're going to chance it. We were currently building up the practiced goaders, which is nice as well, but we are going to stop briefly and grab help at breeding efficiency for the attrition reduction. Alright, I'm just gonna have to deal. Throt. You were looking to go after the Borden Coven, which is backed off, interestingly enough. There's one army here at Janica, meaning... I guess we could attack this army with a Crocronid. Would Throt be able to reach the main armies here? No, meaning they would push onward towards... Actually, that's a question. Where? Would we suffer attrition? Why would we suffer attrition here? Oh, vampiric attrition. Corruption. Can't say I like that. Alrighty, fine. Throt, go this way. Mormel, you are going to follow Throt. Oh, you can't go as far. Alright, you are going to then stay all the way back here where they can't reach you, but still raid. Oh, lovely. Then we will declare war on these guys. We don't want to be dealing with the vampiric corruption here anyway, and hopefully Vlad is too far away for us to be concerned with. Man, would you please declare war on somebody else so that we can join your war? Come on, man. Alrighty, what else do we have? Lamian Sisterhood nearly ready for the... What do we have here? Military axis. Nothing important. Fecondites are willing to do a defensive alliance. We could get vision from them, which might not be a bad idea. The main issue with them is that they're kind of potentially holding territory that we might want. On the other hand, again, I don't dislike the idea of getting additional vision. What I do dislike the idea of is Vlad hating us because of the Fecondites, which are a useless, absolutely useless ally. And again, most likely a target of later betrayal, meaning we'll ignore them for now. Alrighty. Crocronid, then you... Can you auto-resolve this? These guys will attack us. I wonder how much damage we'd take after attacking this. Janica will reinforce, but there isn't much there, and the auto-resolve doesn't like this army. Nonetheless, we're just going to have to deal with it. You are currently at war with Gloomfangs, so we will join your war, Gloomfangs, against the Borden Coven for money. Like so. And by the looks of it, we can keep you alive and allow you to build us... Oh, you know what? We need to build a outpost here before anybody else allies with you. They already have giants available to them. Oh, trolls could be potentially useful as well, especially stone trolls, because they're tankier than our own... Rat Ogres. I also like the potential of the spider units to apply lethal poison, because I don't think we have any lethal poison application available to us, which is a little bit surprising. I'm gonna have to take a double look. We have toxic venom and we have regular poison. Anyway, 2,000 gold, fine. Construct the outpost. Hey, and that gave us 1,000 gold back. Alright, I don't mind. Alright, go after Evegna Borodin. Like so. And I'm going to risk auto-resolving, just hope you don't suffer an insane amount of damage. Don't screw us on this game. Don't you do it. Damage to the Brood Horrors, but they have healing, so it's okay. Go for sell-off. Alright, and then we are not suffering attrition here, so I'm going to pop you into ambush stance right here outside of Janica. Yeah, Talisman of Endurance. And we'll see whether these guys try to go for Janica while attempting to get away from Throt. They could move southward to Kislev, but I don't think that they could do too much with it. Skitice, you are going into second circle where you will be building your new army. Ooh, one more turn until the Den of Secrets is up and running, 2 more turns until we have flamethrowers. You will still need additional clan rats, most likely. And the Rattling Guns are going to a different army, so they're fine. We want Plague Claws for another different army. I guess you're going to have to wait until the buildings are completed. Then we can wait for the clan rats as well. So you're fine as you are. In fact, don't sit here then. Go into encamp stance so our food generation is there. It's going to be a while before we're re-maxed, so yeah. You sit there for the public order. You guys we will deal with in a second. Alright, who else needs to move? Trare is fine, Thankful. Yeah. Skidice, are you maxed out? Yes. Meaning we can now send you up northward towards this location in order to fix the public order there. Or southward. Well, no, we're going to trade this place, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, Skidus, go into encamp stance. Travel while generating food towards Carrick Vlag until the territory is maxed out. And then, actually rather soon, we probably will have no further need of your army here, meaning we can actually make you into a lord, so that'll be good. You I don't want to get closer to the Tzeentchans, but by traveling through this territory, we might find them anyway. Unless we ally with them, then they probably won't trade settlements. Admittedly, there is the option of using them for the purpose of acquiring additional fire units, demonic though they may be. The main issue with allying with any of the Chaos factions that are close to Vlad, or reasonably close to Vlad, is the fact that there's the undead units as well that we could make use of. I'll give it some thought. By which I mean I will delay this until later. Anyway, let's check the heroes and then we'll attack again with Thankful to make sure that the enemies are dead. So, Packmasters, we should have another capacity, yes. And we do have another Poxbringer, fantastic. And that's you. You're gonna get up there, you're a Deathbringer, right? There, another Poxbringer. Oh, damn, okay, I didn't realize that. Okay, well, we'll put you somewhere else, it's all good. What about the other guys? Plague-addled and Hideous Stench, we can wait on you, and we have no further capacity for the other guys, which means Thankful, go, go, go. Right there. I said, right there. Oh, you're actually just slightly out of range. Oh, I think he was in range, but this guy got in his way. Well, that's annoying, meaning we have to attack Earthsphere Port. Alrighty, we cannot auto-resolve this. Annoying, but we'll deal. And we'll get the Council Guard... Not now. Okay, fine. Attack. And fight. Alrighty, here we go. Gotta finish what we started with against the Norscans, and, well, the enemy's reinforcements are gonna be already damaged, so that should make it a decent little bit easier. Still, there's a lot of decent units between the two armies. 3 units of trolls, some Marauder champions in this particular army as well. And the Marauder champions are significantly tougher than our Storm Vermin, at least without the buffs that they will eventually have. So, we do have to be wary. On the bright side, though, the Norscans don't have artillery, and we most certainly do, as the avalanche mortars will come down on the enemy with those death globes. Together with the Plague Claw catapults. We have taken position up on top of this hill, wherein our reinforcements will arrive behind our army and hopefully join Thankful's main force, while we try to soften up the first of the enemy armies by focusing down those Marauder champions who appear to be running around dodging fire from our artillery. Which does make sense. It is annoying, but it does make sense. There we go. That was a pretty solid volley, but the Marauder champions are heavily armored and decently resistant, so it is going to take a fair bit of fire to work through them. And admittedly, the avalanche mortars are really light on their ammunition, so they've already used up 20% of theirs, and I fully expect them to be pretty much depleted by the time the second army arrives. This is definitely an army that will probably warrant a... Yeah, we should get an... If we want to keep the avalanche mortars in this army, we should probably put an engineer in this army. And if we transfer it to another army, we can transfer it to another army with the engineer. Certainly a thought. And if we can get a restock, an engineer's knapsack, that would be helpful as well. But anyway, I digress. Enemies still very much dodging the shots. They can even dodge avalanche mortar fire because that's the AI for you. But what can you do? At the end of the day, while they're dodging, they're also not really moving towards us. We're still very much safe on the hill in our big old pile of admittedly heavily damaged Skaven slaves, but a big old pile of Skaven slaves are making their way forward. Damn, with the buffs, this unit of Skaven slaves has 40 melee attack. I can't wait till we're in the point of the campaign where we're making so much money we're free to buy as much of the mutagen as we want, and then can start pumping out superpowers Skaven slaves to see how strong we can make them. And the same goes for a bunch of other units, to be perfectly honest. Well, at the very least, all of the melee units, because Moulder stuff isn't really geared to powering up range units, at least by and large. There are still some units, some range units, like the gutter runners and stuff, which will benefit from it, namely from things that give them extra armor, extra speed, and regeneration, physical resistance, basically that things that would allow them to fight better in melee when they have to, and to fight better in a range shootout when they have to as well. Anyway, the enemy is finally moving towards us as soon as their reinforcements have arrived. Our mutant rat ogre Bone Ripper has moved forward to try and help deal with the enemy Fimir. A unit of enemy Marauder champions rather attempted to make their way up the hill on our left flank, but promptly got obliterated by our range fire. And we're going to do the same, hopefully, to the Marauder Hunters with Javelins and Marauder Horses. They're firing away their Javelins and such at the Skaven slaves, but that is a waste, and they'll die much faster than our own troops will under fire. We got the fancier stuff after all. The reinforcement army is now on field, but will take at least a little bit of time to get to us, so we still have time to work our way through the enemy. And don't really need to commit the elites as yet, as our monsters, together with the single entities generally speaking, lords and heroes, and a little bit of work from the plague monks, should tear through the enemy quite well. And not to worry, once again, we will be making a pestilence-centric army, but again, pestilence and Moulder. I think that's the general way that we will, going into future Skaven campaigns, keep things interesting, like if we play a particular Skaven campaign, like if we play Deathmaster Snitch the next time, then Deathmaster Snitch's armies will all have to have a decent Eshin element to them. And just like we're doing with Moulder and having Moulder monsters in every single army, to some degree. It'll keep the armies a little bit more balanced, a little bit less one note, but also lawfully appropriate. Anyway, the enemy continue making their way forward, but between the forest and the hill and the giant tarpet of Skaven slaves, they're having a really difficult time achieving anything. Their range units are still under fire from our own range, who have this great position up on the hill while the enemy is held back. And the firing arcs of those Plague Claw catapults, basically near to the level of mortars, are completely able to fire over all those trees, rather than have them interfere, which is pretty fantastic, or at least to some degree. These trees will still interfere, but it does depend on which particular unit we're firing on. We also have the summoned clan rats from the menace below annoying the enemy and preventing their javelineers from chucking those javelins at us. By and large, we really do want to protect our mutant rat ogre from that, as the Norscans are kind of specialized for anti-large combat after all. Yeah, look at Bone Ripper. He looks so happy. He's having fun. There we go, and let's see. Balance power is at about 85% in our favor. Battle is nearly over. In fact, the enemy has collapsed on the left flank, and we are moving our Death Globes and Poison Winds forward. Our Avalanche Mortars have long run out of ammunition, as you can probably guess, but that hardly matters. I'm going to move forward a unit of Warp Grinders. And just the speed matters along a little bit, trying to go as deep into the midst of the fighting, into the formation of both our own army and the enemy army, as we can in order to activate the Seismic Snare and the Warp Quake. And there we go. Isn't it fun? And we'll definitely may put some Warp Grinders in an army that has got a decent pile of melee units, just like hide the Warp Grinders in them. I haven't decided which army that's going to be yet. They would work decently well with the Skaven slave army, though I was going to put a bunch of Hellpit abominations in that particular army, and I'm a little bit concerned about overdoing the other unit types, but maybe if we do like 4 Hellpit abominations and 2 or 3 units of Warp Grinders, that would work out nicely. And frankly, that's an army, since it's fairly reliant on Hellpits and Skaven slaves, it's an army that we can build fairly soon and quickly because, well, we just need the growth of that the Flesh Lab to get us a few extra units. Anyway, with that, the enemy army shatters at last, and Thankful is victorious against this chieftain for a second time. He's gonna escape, but I don't think he or his army will survive here. Alright, there we go. Solid work once again. 646 losses, primarily Skaven slaves. Is pretty good. We've got a little bit of damage on our heroes, but they're all low level and they're not ready yet. And the important thing is we can, I guess, loot and occupy it at tier 1 to A, heal up a little bit, but B, avoid the attrition here. And this army should be destroyed because it fought in the previous battle as well. And these guys should not be able to attack us. You will both heal and then proceed onward towards destroying these guys. Maybe even pick up the mysterious island because it's right there. Alright, looking good. Thankful, how's your leveling going? We'll keep moving through Respected and Feared because we are fully intent on getting Eshin Triads and Plague Monks or Censer Bearers and Stormvermin in Thankful's army. And then I guess next turn we'll give him the Council Guard as well, and which is what we've been after. In terms of doing, the Packmaster will need to be joined by another Packmaster. Then yeah, probably going to take out the Warp Grinders in this army. I feel like they won't fit, and we already have enough Scryer tech here. Frankly, they would work decently well with Skaven Slaves or Clan Rats, so there's the option there. Yes. Alrighty, Trare, you're fine as you are. Wait, that was the last thing we needed to do in terms of non-building building. Okay, so now to the building. We do have a decent bit of money, and it's probably a good time to build some of the expensive stuff. So, first circle. We don't necessarily need the construction cavern as yet, the higher level version of it, but it will soon be something that we need. The public order here is more or less fixed. This is not necessary as yet, as it gives us no further capacities. I will, however, say that we should probably now switch to expansionist planning, as the public order should still be more or less fine. We'll just pay attention to it if it starts dropping, but with all of these temples of the Horned Rat that we got going, it should be okay. I think in this place we will also want to build a scrap heap for the recruitment cost reduction and capacity, since this is our main recruitment territory. And then, of course, we'll want to build a clan summit, but I think we want the super expensive stuff first, like this, 7th circle. Oh. I guess we could have popped into expansionist planning to reduce it by 2 turns, was it? But in reality, it takes 1 turn to switch to that time, so in reality, it's 1 turn, so just build it. Alright. Expensive though it may be, 11,000, at least we will then be able to upgrade the Depths of Hell Pit and not have to worry about that. We will also want to build the arcane generators here. Frankly, you know what? Maybe we'll do the next turn and delete this and then switch to expansionist planning after all, because then we can at least build the expansionist plan. We can build the arcane generator cheaply. We should, in theory, want to build the Temple of the Horned Rat here as well, rather than the Pits of the Packmasters, but this place gives us recruit ranks for recruiting here, so I think we'll have to forego it and just live with an Overseer's lookout for public order instead. This doesn't negativize our public order, does it? It does not. Alright, so we should be fine. Just gotta make sure that we have enough money next turn. Prague we could upgrade right now if we wanted to. Svedora we could upgrade right now if we wanted to, but neither one is critical right now. This, however, is a better option. Exotic Animal Market and Overseer's Lookout into a storage cave and more storage cave. Need that food. Karak Vlag, 2.7k. As long as we have 10k for next turn, we should be okay. Yeah, ignore the Nest Nursery for now. Ropsels, we can upgrade the Pits of the Packmasters and the Giant Fungi Caverns. Wait, do we have Eshin Triads available next turn? Yes, we do. And the Eshin Sorcerer. Fantastic. That's what we want. Or we could go Death Runners. I'll think about it. As to what we want in Thankful's army. Breeding Pit, we can do a... We'll probably delete it in a couple turns, so maybe we'll just not bother upgrading it. Kislev, I did want to upgrade you. Well, I guess we'd still have 10,000 gold if we upgraded you right now. Yeah, you know what, why not? Well, why the heck not? Yeah, well, we'll live with it, and there goes all of our cash, but it is what it is. Frozen Coast, don't collect the income. We still have to deal with the chaotic corruption there. And I assume you will have failed or have already. Alright, skip, 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 and end the turn. Well, Garrison is under attack by pile of garbage. Why are you bothering? Where is this? Bogus Grey. Okay, we're not gonna fight this. This is a waste of our time. We have warp bombs and 6 menaces below in the Moulder clan stone, and the enemy is just piles of basic Kislevites out of resolve. We will take the money that wait. 450, it's barely anything. Yeah, but no other real option.
Bad thing, fit, good only.
Alright, well, the ambush failed, but the enemy still chooses to attack Recronid 10 Scratch. I think they're definitely underestimating him. Though, admittedly, also, the fell bets are probably going to be at least something of an issue. Let's see how well we deal with it. Go. Alrighty, here we go. We've started fighting the dwarfs and, well, we may as well start fighting the undead. Gotta have more variety of foes. Granted, our campaign is still quite Kislev-centric, but there's a lot of stuff around Kislev, especially in the old world. That should enable us to have some fun. Anyway, we're going to start the battle off by moving towards the enemy best as we can, and start plinking away at them with our gutter runner slingers. While we wait for the enemy reinforcements to arrive, though surprisingly or not, it looks like the enemy has decided to move towards us as soon as we close the distance enough to start firing away at them. And good for them. We do activate our ballistics calibration, or will activate the ballistics calibration rather, as soon as the Warlock Engineer takes position, so that we can heal everybody up, or buff everybody up. But speaking of healing everybody up, we are going to get our first Moulder Clan Stone on cooldown as our Brood Horrors start this particular battle pretty heavily damaged, and we gotta heal them up. They're definitely going to be needed here. Anyway, the bats are gonna move forward now, and looks like we're gonna try our best to knock them out of the sky. Unfortunately, I made a bit of a gaffe, a bit of an error in terms of the skill point assigning on the units, or on the Engineer, who doesn't have Howling Warp Gale, which otherwise would have prevented any of the bats from reaching us. And I'm just going to remember that, and next time he has a skill point, get that Howling Warp Gale for us. Oh, all the Doom Rockets go wide and fail to hit the enemy, while we are looking like we're going to have to back off. There we go. The enemy is pretty darn slow, 15 move speed. We got 65 on our units, so it's time to book it. Our Ix's Triads, that's the real unit of Ix's Triads, will run, as will the Assassins and Brood Horrors, and pretty much the only units that can catch them with the Bats and the Dogs having been destroyed, being the enemy two White Kings here. Alright, we have retaken position, and let's see. And here it is. So you may notice that all of these units in the back line, they're not firing. They haven't been firing for a while. Going to reposition them and stuff. You saw how all of them moved. I tried to forcibly target them at specific units because they weren't firing by themselves, despite the fact that all of this was in range. So it is the bug, the bug where your units can't fire. This bug is one of the main reasons that in the early game I wasn't really spamming Skaven Slave Slingers, which are a fantastic unit in the very start that you can spam, especially against low armored enemies. See how long these guys aren't firing? They're doing nothing. Yeah, and a lot of the shurikens weren't firing either. But anyway, yeah, that bug is the reason I was avoiding building the Skaven Slave Slingers, which is unfortunate as they're pretty critical to the early Skaven campaign. But, well, all good, we overcame it. Hopefully we can overcome this, because this is effectively an army that is completely reliant on range fire, and when you can't range fire, you're going to be in trouble. This is the other reason that I decided to upgrade the Night Runners into Gutter Runners. While I don't mind keeping some Night Runners in, generally speaking, for variety and having some weaker units together with the stronger units. Not that the Gutter Runners are particularly strong, they're still tier 2, but anyway. Now the thing is, the Night Runners are absolutely garbage in melee. And we needed them to all be at least somewhat more capable in melee, because this can happen. Alright, now fortunately though, when the enemy starts running out of units and when our unit numbers start to drop, the units will start firing again, so there we go. Yeah, nearly 4 minutes in, yeah, so you can see a big difference with nearly 4 minutes in, and all the shuriken units still have, I mean, this one still has like 60% of its ammunition, this one does as well. Usually a few volleys and they're completely out, but I think this is the first and only battle that we've had where the shurikens weren't out. That's bugged for you, but oh well. What can you do? Enemies are still moving forward. The bug has also allowed the enemy to close the distance much more than we otherwise would have liked, but it is what it is. On the bright side, our assassins and our brood horrors working in concert have killed off the enemy White Kings and are now going after the enemy Lord as well. And between all three of the assassins, leaping around them, stabbing with that tail dagger, etc. There we go. The Lord is out. And with our units now able to fire once more, though a little bit too late, we can see just how quickly the ammunition on the these units start to drop. And yeah, look at that. 4 minutes in, we've still got 85% ammunition on a bunch of our units of slingers. But oh well. Looks like we've overcome our brood horrors, now in the midst of the fight and blocking off as many of the enemy as they possibly can, together with the assassins as well, who have had no choice but to fight a lot in melee in this particular fight. You got the reinforcements from the settlement having arrived as well, and getting a little bit of plague claw support, which isn't a bad thing. But would have been a lot more helpful earlier on. Frankly, if I had known or could have predicted that the no firing bug would, or no auto fire bug would happen, then I probably wouldn't have Vanguard deployed the army, and rather deployed all the way back so that we could have used the artillery to soften up the enemy targets as they moved forward. Anyway, not much left to the enemy army now, still using a doppelganger unit of Ix's Triads to keep a few of the enemies back, a fair few, I should say. It does take the enemy a while to work through those Ix's Triads, clones though they may be, and low in armor. They do have 55 melee defense and 30 physical resistance, which is pretty darn solid, and especially against things like skeleton warriors, they're going to do good work. And obviously the other benefit of the doppelganger unit is you're free to drop artillery and spell work on them, and not have to worry about their casualties. Now it's time to rush forward with whatever units that we have and make sure that the last of the enemy units melt away. Put in some work with the Skaven slaves and clan rats from the reinforcing army. There we go. Decisive victory, perhaps, but certainly had to work for it more than we would have if the issues hadn't occurred. But all good. Nice little change of pace for Kronid, who has been obliterating any foe that he has come across so far. So gotta keep him from getting cocky, from getting a big head and trying to take power, as Skaven are wont to do. Ooh, alright, that was fairly close. It's been a bit of a while since the no range attack bug has reared its ugly head, but certainly ran into it here. Towards the end of the battle, the unit started firing again when the enemy ran out of, or started to run out of sheer numbers of units, but it's very dangerous for this army, as it's effectively an archer army and reliant on all that range damage. Fortunately, we did manage to pull it off, and while we took more damage than we would have liked, we are still pretty okay. Luckily for us that this was a relatively weak army in terms of the troops that they brought, but yeah, really gotta watch out for our units not firing. Anyway, I got other Trickster Shard, which is another great find, and frankly, with the current state of the other Trickster Shard, it's I mean, it's not just the spell resistance as it used to be. Now this is basically a very good universal item that should be present in every army that you can put it in. The minus 20% damage resistance alone, missile resistance, physical, it's really good. Anyway, we'll probably find many a place for this. We could heal up, but we're in our own territory and it should be fine, so we'll sell off again for 2.4k. We do need the additional money to upgrade our tier 5s after all, so sell off. Alright, what do we have here? 2,000 gold or a mechanical claw? Mechanical claw is fine, but I don't want to risk the 6 loyalty losses right now for Skid Ice, especially since he's not an actual army right now, or, well, not actually fighting, he'll be recruiting, and I'm a little bit wary of him rebelling as our only high-tier warlord right now, so we'll demand a stake. Unfortunate though it may be. Demand a stake. Alrighty, Bone Rattlers, mobilize, good for them, we don't care. Enemy killed in battle, war coordination target lost. There's that other Trickster Shard, another Bell Polisher, always nice, another Breeder. Technology researched, right expires, dominating scheme, good. Hey, free Undercity. And it's in Hornau now. You can go for Subterranean Pit and start spreading, and what do we have here? 2 in 1 turn until our techs are unlocked. Okay, good. We have to wait a fair bit more until the Rat Force is ready, so we will keep going through what we were doing here. Let's finish up with Practiced Goaters. And then next we can turn to the new unlocked territory. Now, you, Throt, can raise Belava, while you, I guess, move to Troika. Can you actually take Troika yourself? I mean, you can, but the question is, will the enemy attack with you? You know what? Yeah, we'll keep Throt here for now. How's that Hey, there it is. That was the appropriate time to check this. Okay, so we will need to confederate you. That will completely obliterate our income right now, though. And it will put us with more territories. And oh, I guess we no longer need these here, then. We could allow him to take some territories, but I'm not so sure that we want to. There's Ungrim Iron Fist. I don't know if he has any good heroes. Okay, so if we're gonna do that, we need to double check about any heroes that will want to immediately get up and running, since we will be out of capacity if we get any good ones. Well, okay, not these guys, but the other guys. Oh! Eshin Sorcerer now. We wanted one of these, so we could get Cheap Brittle Bone, which is nice, and I don't dislike Dreaded. Bleed contact effect will make you fairly useful if you ever go into melee combat, though. And cooldown for Warp Stars allows you to spam it, which, you know, is not a bad idea either. Maybe we'll go for that. I wish you weren't so horrifically expensive, but we've been waiting to get one of these guys up and running for ages now, so I feel like we should just do it. Alright. Let's do it. Then, the rank, or the tier 5, we were gonna do that. Oh, and our public order, if we confederate, the -8 is really gonna hurt. Well, not as much as it would without the dominating scheme, which we're gonna pop immediately. And we'll be recruiting as well, so that worked out nicely. And then 7th Circle, you are definitely going to go up and build the arcane generators. We may as well build them all, so stay in expansionist planning for now. We'll just have to live with it. Alright, what are you again? You're another Packmaster. Yeah, go into this army until we get more, and we'll have to have more Packmaster capacities where we can get them. Thankful and Co., you will be heading to the Hall of Ursula, which... I mean, I guess we can go out of the Hall of Ursula to grab the Mysterious Island. I wonder if this guy's gonna leave. I imagine not, since Hall of Ursula is a high-tier settlement, and this will be a minor settlement battle. Yeah, an unwalled settlement battle. Although we do have the advantage there because of the presence of our artillery. We are starting to run out of mana due to that darn mana debuff that are removed so much, but at least it's gone now. Also, how close are we to profit? Okay, one more battle and that'll give it to us. Alright, so, Thankful, you're gonna go to Hall of Ursula. Stitch, you are going to reinforce at the Hall of Ursula. You will not auto-resolve. Oh, right, the Council Guard. You know what, actually we want to save the money, so we'll get the Council Guard, just not right now. Maybe next turn or the turn after that. You're going to proceed to Hall of Ursula. I wonder, would you be able to reach it next turn? I think you'll be just out of range. Meaning... I was wondering if we could raise it and then reoccupy it, but I fear that's not going to work out this time around, but oh well. Anyway, you're going to go up here. Throt, we were going to have you raise Belava. and destroy what's here, you could just auto-resolve.
Kill, body. Keep.
Like, so close victory? What are you talking about, game? In what world? Alright, well, Throt's gonna get hurt because this is a waste of time. You know what? Maybe we will move you into reinforce. I wonder, will Throt reinforce against these guys? Alright, fine, let's find out. This should not be a close victory. And it's a close victory? So, oh, Throt's not reinforcing. Well, it is what it is. Auto-resolve. Yeah, that's annoying. And the 38% army replenishment won't heal them, so we'll just sell off. And then you can now reinforce, but I'm willing to bet that that will kill the poor brood horrors. It won't. At least it's not saying it will. Let's quick save it, because I don't trust you, game. I don't trust you at all. I will still do it because of the XP leech. Auto-resolve. No, I didn't kill him. Okay. And then you can raise this. Like so. And I guess... Oh, another glittering scales. Good. Help it attendant? Good. Profit up and running? Good. Mormel, are you able to reach this and occupy it? No. I guess we'll use Crocronid for that purpose then. I mean, I guess we could have Mormel do it next turn. I don't think anybody else can reach it right now. It would save you a little bit of time and allow you to move into Kanika and heal there, which you're gonna need. Yeah, alright, fine. Go into Kanika. Sit there. And we could send Throt this way then to Choika, but he's also going to, well, have to move next turn. You can go into Encamp. You'll reach Belava next turn as well. And then, yeah, I guess we'll want to go south a little bit, maybe, with Throt before looping back around to Ungrim Iron Fist. Speaking of Ungrim, we'll deal with him shortly. Skittis, you have two things to do. First of all, Thanquol needs 2 Eshin Triads, so build those. Or do we do Death Runners? Do you really like the Eshin Triads? It is a nice idea to sort of intersperse Eshin Triads with the regular Storm Vermin with Halberds, because then you can significantly buff up their capabilities with the Overwhelm debuff. Respected and feared melee attack, weapon strength. He will have 5 units as his main line, and then the Storm Vermin or the Triads could reinforce. The Death Runners would be able to dish out significantly more damage, but would be significantly more fragile. You know what, I'll think about it. The other thing that we wanted here was the Warp Fire Throwers, which aren't ready yet. Oh, well, I guess then we have one more turn to think about it, because we shouldn't build those until we shouldn't build those until we can build them at the same time. And we gotta get the Warp Fire Throwers, and probably the Poison Wind Mortars as well. I wanted them for the Fire Army as well. Kinda makes sense. And soon we'll have a gunnery army up and running. Just need to just maximize our economic capability. Yeah, anyway, though this is going to hurt tremendously in terms of our public order, I don't see how we're getting out of it, so... Time to confederate... Oh, wait. Military alliance, give us your money, and then we'll confederate you. Alright, I guess we didn't need to go through that plan that I had, but that's, well, it's not the worst thing in the world. Here comes the -8 public order. 4 or 5 turns, was it? Yeah. Alrighty. 1, 2... Money. Lose outpost. Wait, that was only 2 provinces? Maybe we could give up Seep Gore to the Vamps here so that they have 1 full territory. I'd like to keep them as permanent allies. It will mean also taking Uskulak Drang and giving it to the Vamps, but, well, that's fine. Anyway, there's a lot of admin to do with all of these guys, and most of their armies are going to be garbage Skaven slave armies, but I need to take a look at the heroes, and, ooh, free rattling guns. Anything else interesting? Some Plague Monks, a couple of Warp Grinders, who can't be upgraded anything, Night Runners, well... Yeah, anyway, I think I'm gonna call the episode here, and I'll deal with this aspect of the admin between the episodes, because it's kind of annoying. I want to look through every single army, look through every single item, all the traits and stuff, keep some, delete others, or at least figure out what needs to be kept and what needs to be deleted. And then when we come back, we will deal with this and get ready, essentially muster the troops on the borders of Karak Kadrin. Though I guess, yeah, Throt really does need the defeat trait, though. They have 7 settlements, and by the time we get down here, we should still be able to get Ungrim, even if he... Huh. We're maxed out here, aren't we? Wait. We are at 1,000 exactly, but it didn't auto-turn over. Okay, let's just do this right now. Claim growth fat monsters. Like so. 1 Brood Horror, 3 Rat Ogres, 1 Hellpit Abomination. Still no dogs. Huh, go figure. Well, frats. I would have liked it. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to call it here. I'll deal with the annoying aspect of the admin next time when we proceed through the last of the territories of the Gormadni tribe and then the Fire Army under Skittis and Thanquol's and nearly now complete or approaching completion. Slaneshi Giggle Army will go after these guys. So Krakadrak and Kraka Ravensvak. We will deal with Krakadrin and, well, continue growing our empire both under and over. Stay tuned for more rats. If I get to leave those likes and comments below, especially the threshold for the longer episodes. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.